done. Hi, welcome once again to my kitchen. And today we're going to do the part 3 of our frituras. Remember, we made rellenos de papa. In the last video, we made bacalaitos. This is a little bit more complicated recipe, but you're gonna love it. I hope you do it because you're gonna love it. Today, we're going to make alcapurrias. Alcapurrias is something that you also find throughout the island, but depending where you go, if you're around the coast in Puerto Rico, they fill them with different things. They fill them with crab meat, they fill them with shrimp and different flavors of seafood. But also, one of my favorite ways, with my family don't like it much, is the corned beef. I love alcapurrias with corned beef. That's my favorite. Today I'm gonna make it with picadillo, which is the same ground meat recipe that I made for the rellenos de papa in my first video. So you can head back there and watch that recipe so you know how to make the meat. For the meat, you're gonna need the ground beef if you want to make it like this. You're gonna need tomato sauce, red pepper, sofrito, sazon, and salt and pepper or adobo, whatever you wanna like. That same ingredients you're gonna need if you're gonna make it with crab meat or something else. You're also gonna need achiote seeds. I'm gonna show you how to make this with the oil because I use this to put it inside the masa, and I also use it to form them, okay? I'm gonna use green bananas, guineos verdes, yautia blanca, yautia, y yautia morada, which is the red yautia. I use calabaza, pumpkin or squash, whatever way you want to call it to, because I like my masa to be almost the same as pasteles. Some people make it with just green bananas and some plátano in it. I like it to be almost like the pasteles because it has best flavor for me. You can make them with just the green bananas if you want, and maybe one plátano, and they will come out okay. But if you want them to be extra delicious, try them my way. You're gonna love them. You're also gonna need a couple bowls. You're going to need wax paper, and I use my blender to make the masa. You can use anything you want. If you want to grate them, it's fine. It's just a little harder. I like to make my life easier, so I use the blender to make them. So let's get started.
It's the beginning of a great thing.
I'm going to show you how to do the guineos, just in case you've never done them before. I cut them off the thing. I cut the two ends. And I sliced in the middle like that, and I put them in hot water, so all that stickiness that comes inside of them it gets washed out with the hot water, and it's so much easier to peel them. So I peeled and cut the vianda. As you can see, it's all in little pieces, thin, to help the blender to process it easy. I never used to do this growing up. Growing up in Puerto Rico, we used the guayo. My dad used to make one for each of us, and that's what we use. So if you're Puerto Rican, Boricua from the island, don't come at me. I learned how to do this when I came here, when I was 20 years old, and I came to New Jersey. I live with my sister, and she's the one that told me the trick to do it in the blender, which is so much easier. So ever since then, I'm making it in the blender. So I'm gonna show you how to blend it, okay? the masa ready. I put salt in it and achiote in it. You can taste it just to see if it has enough salt. And you can also, as you saw, you can feel there's bigger pieces that were missed by the blender. I have achiote here, which I'm gonna use to form them. And I have the picadillo of ground beef. This recipe, you can go to my rellenos de papa video and you can see how I made this. It's very easy, it's the same recipe. I also have wax paper that I cut in this size rectangles. This is where I'm going to form them, the alcapurrias, and freeze them in it so that they don't stick. Here's the finished product. Look at it inside. It has the meat and the masa. Let's taste it. It's hot. Mmm. So good. Delicioso. You must try them. Try them and you're gonna thank me for it because they are absolutely delicious. I hope you make them. And please subscribe to the channel and like the video. And thank you for coming. I'll see you next time. Adios.